Hey, what is going on, crypto people? What the world? I'm back. I'm back. Well, sort of. What the world is going on right now? I don't even know where to start. What we got an XRP, what is it called? XRP Ledger Live? What's it called? Ledger Live? Ledger for meme coins? What the world's going on? Oh my gosh, I got a story to tell you guys. What the freak is going on right now? I told you guys about X meme a while ago. A while ago. I'm back. Well, kind of, sort of, Crazy stuff going on right now with the grill fam. I don't even know. It's just crazy in the streets right now. Tejas has let me down with the services, man. It's just not great. Just one fail after the next fail. I don't understand it. I'm not used to this. But Miss Crypto C just like, you can't keep putting this thing off. Look, everything's down, swallowing's down. Just go, just do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But anyway, the grill's still not done, still not well. Work in progress. Tejas is a little different, man. It's a little different. I don't know what's going on right now. But anyway, I'm here. I'm going to do what I can. Forgive me if I'm slurring or what is that thing, like lisping or whatever. Trying to get all this stuff figured out. Fingers crossed. God is good. He'll figure it out. Boy, oh boy. I missed you guys, man. It's been a few days since I've been able to do anything. Still haven't got it figured out, but they'll figure it out. I'm sure they'll figure out what the deal is. But I don't know, man. The idea that there's a as an XRP, is it called Ledger First? I don't even know what it's called. Um, for meme coins is fascinating to me. I'm excited for it. I will not be buying new meme coins. But I am excited for it because I understand how going up and to the right on the network adoption curve works, thus creating demand for the native asset of said blockchain. So I understand that. So if you understand that, I welcome. Is it Ledger First? I don't know. What's the thing called? Ledger Live? I don't even know. First, it's called First Ledger. I had everything but the right thing. Anyway, First Ledger. So we'll go over that. We're going to cover this new governance proposal with Flare Networks. I think it's massive. Got to make sure we vote. I think that's today. And no, I think it might be voting might be up for that today. So we'll go over that. And all things Flare Network. SUI, by the way, SUI on Coinbase for USDC. So you can do a little Coinbase purchase if you're interested and withdraw USDC from Coinbase directly to SUI. SUI.
You are sweet.
So there it is, interesting stuff. Solana's killing the game right now, it feels like, last few days. Killing the game last few days. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the market. But boy, oh boy. So X meme is going to be listed on First Ledger very soon. Welcome to all the new coins, all the meme coins and investors to the XRPL. Never underestimate the power of a truly united and committed community. Growth, growth, more growth. We are different. Now, X meme magnetic.org/dex. What's going on with magnetic, man? I don't know. In any case, I got X meme months ago. We'll see how it goes. But Crypto Eddie did a video yesterday or this morning, and yeah, there's some crazy numbers going on over there. Crazy numbers going on over there. If you understand the game, okay, cool. But be careful out there, fam. Be careful. What the world is going on? What's going on, Leo Messi? How are you, my friend? First ledger, there it is. Bitcoin 68.6. Yeah, we got to get over that 70,000, man. We got to get to the 70K. We got to get to that 70K. So I'm gonna work my way through this live stream and future live streams until I get the new word from the freaking surgeon, and then we'll go from there. But I can't keep putting it off, you know? Can't keep putting it off. So what the world happened to Solana right now? Market is doing what it does. The market is doing what it does. Solana's killing the game right now. I don't know what's going on, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I may stake some more Solana marinade, you know, or over the other one. I like MSOL, but Jito's good as well. Bigger player, for sure. Not all Solana, obviously. We don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Let's share some. Oh, I've been into a couple of books I want to share with you guys as well. Let's go over this market real quick before we get into the news. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is up 1.3% and is at 2.45 trillion. Bitcoin dominance 55% or so, which means probably 56%. According to CoinGecko, Bitcoin is trading at $68,453 again. On the 30-day, Bitcoin is up 6.5%. Ethereum is trading at $2,545 again. And on the 30-day, it's down 4%. Solana is trading at $177 again. We haven't seen that number in a while. And on the 30-day, Solana is up 19.5%. Interesting stuff. Where's up, beloved? XRP is at 53 cents. On the 30-day, XRP is down 10%. The market is doing again, fam, what the freaking market does. It's just doing what it does. What's going on with the beloved SUI? $1.96. On a 30 days, off 17%. We got to get to that 3 trillion in total cryptocurrency market cap to begin to really know the numbers of this market. To begin to really know them. Dog with hats up 26.8% on a 30-day. Got some of that. What else we got going on here? It's kind of it. Jupiter is up 19%. That's cool. Got some of that. I heard Crypto Eddie got some Jupe and some SUI. Good to welcome to the family, Crypto Eddie. Welcome to the family. So that's it, right? I mean, these some numbers, but you know. Oh my God. Cat in a dog's world. Oh, meme coins. Something. I do like my MSOL up 20% on the 30-day. Gosh, to like that. 218. My $1,000 plays are not working out thus far. ApeCoin, 42%. Radium. Why is Radium up 87%? It's the DEX on Solana. Their token is Ray. Why is it up 87%? For a decentralized exchange token, we got to get into the weeds. We got to get into the, you know, see what's going on with that. I have no idea. As far as I know. Live stream should be working. Let me see. Leo Messi, can you hear me okay? Is the live stream working okay to you? I think it's working. But, you know, it's hard to say. Pookie Pookie's in the building. What's going on, Pookie Pookie? I'm back, bro. Kind of, sort of. Still not fixed. But I'm weathering the storm. Pookie Pookie says I can hear you. Is the live stream buffering or anything like that? Pookie Pookie? I can't go by my phone really because my phone's always on 4G. What's going on, Pookie Pookie? So that's the market again. It's doing what it does. But I do want to go over this news from Pro Network. So forgive me if I'm maybe slurring or lisping or whatever. I'm trying to do my best here to weather through this. Pookie Pookie says it's all good. Thank you. All right, so let's go to this Flare news right now. Hugo's having some very, very interesting and poignant posts lately. Just so you know. Let's do this. Here. Flare Networks put this out, and I guess this vote is up because this post was from yesterday. That's not good news. A very consequential governance proposal for Flare Networks will be open for voting tomorrow. The FDC Flare Data Connector strengthens Flare's position as the blockchain for data. 4 key points that you should miss. Data from the FDC is unique. It's trustless. It lets DApp securely access and import a wider range of external data with trust derived from the underlying security assumptions of the Flare network. Says here request-based, only pulls data explicitly requested by users rather than wastefully monitoring or importing all data. Cool. Deploys in stages. First on Songbird, and will include support for attestation types required for F assets as well as EVM transaction type. In the near future, the community will be able to propose new attestation types, which will be accepted if they gain the support of the majority of the data providers. Reward system. FTC data providers are rewarded for voting on and attesting to data requests. Rewards are proportional to each provider's total active weight and comes from 2 sources. Flare's yearly inflation, 50-50 split with the FTSL V2 participation rewards, FTC user fees, distributed based on provider participation and active weight. Key dates. That was the notice period. Now the voting period is the 24th to the 30th. Implementation is expected shortly after voting ends. Exact timing will be announced for data providers to prepare. So that is there. That's the news from Flare Network. Did you guys vote on that already? Let's get rid of this. Pokey says, I still can't mint BTC. Yeah. I haven't been able to mint it for a while. I've been requesting new ones because I know it's like you got to have a certain amount of the test stuff. Pookie, you having that issue as well? So hopefully they'll get that fixed. But that's the big word on the street for Flare Networks with this proposal. And hopefully people will be able to vote on that. Let's go over to portal.flare.network, see what's good. What do you guys think about these freaking memes on the XRPO? You guys care about it? You're not interested? What's going on with that? Let me pull up my Bypass wallet, see what's good. I appreciate you guys checking in on a Thursday afternoon. I missed you guys. I gotta get out of the developer mode. Curse. See if we're gonna vote. Let's vote together, man. You guys vote on this? Let's see if it's up. Let's see if the vote is up and active. Says I'm connected. Let's go to voting, see if this thing is, if this vote is active or not. Doesn't seem like it's up. Maybe it's gonna be later today. I don't see it up. I see, okay, it's on Songbird Network, okay. I got two to vote on here. I got SIP 4 and STP 9. Added incentive structure for participating in all protocols. I thought I voted on that one already. I'm glad I caught it. So Songbird has two active proposals to vote on. If you guys didn't vote on those yet, almost two for me because I guess I'm behind the world. I just voted on the SIP 4. Now I got to vote on STP. STP 9, add support for the FDC. That just started. All right, I'm going to vote on that one as well. I almost told you where I voted. All right, I voted on that one also. All right, it's all good in the hood. I voted, yeah, so there was no active on, Player was active on Songbird. Add support for the Player data connector, so I voted. Pookie says voted the other day, nice. Very nice. So we need BTC above 70K to begin to 70,400, 70,600 to begin to get excited for future gains. Let me do this real quick. All right, so I think that, I wanted to cover the vote proposal, the governor's proposal, kind of keep everyone up to date on what's kind of going on with that, for sure. And I want to cover some interesting posts on X from Hugo. I responded to this one as well. Hugo said the FTSOs, which is Flare's native price oracle, used to update every 3 minutes. Now it updates every block 1.8 seconds. We knew this, right? What does this mean? Well, for a start, because Flare can get accurate prices much faster, it means that liquidations in DeFi protocols can happen much faster because the system can respond faster. DeFi protocols can hold less collateral while retaining the same safety. That's the big part right there. This makes your internet money way more efficient. It works harder for you and leads to a more usable, desirable, and robust DeFi ecosystem. Responding here. This will be huge for DeFi, and I think that's true. Let's see. They loaded. This is another interesting post from Hugo. Again, dude's on a CEO journey, you know. I like it. Existing oracles may be one of the biggest threats to crypto. In DeFi, about $40 billion of value is currently financially exposed to an oracle. 40 billion. Existing oracles have weak and or opaque economic security models. Unlike TradFi, if you end up trading because a bad price was given, there is zero recourse. Flare enshrines its oracles within the network, meaning that stake is put up against each contributor. Contributors can collectively lose substantial economic value if the data that the system puts out is not related to the ground truth. Flare's security model is robust and transparent, with 67% of the total supply staked to the Oracle system. We believe this is a much better way to approach DeFi than just hoping your Oracle won't give you a bad price. DeFi should be better than TradFi. With the exception of the ease of transactions offered by stablecoins, it currently isn't. Flare is changing that. This is why we call Flare a third generation blockchain. I like that. I like that. Let me do that. I like that. Don't you? Don't you guys like that? I like that. I like that. I have to repost that one. That's good. Coming from Hugo and the boys. What's going on, David Stanley? David says, Flare, FLR, will be the biggest gainer of all time. Interoperability, using the cheapest, fastest, and most scalable blockchain. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. That's an interesting post from Hugo, I think. Talking that talk is important. Now we got to deliver on the promise that is Flare Networks. We got to deliver on that promise, David, that is Flare Networks. We got to deliver on the promise. Hugo has been doing his thing. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Hugo has been doing his thing. So what's going on with the Galaxy thing? You guys know Flare put out this thing about hooking up with Galaxy for quests and being able to redeem and mint and all that stuff. Have you guys done this testing? Have you guys done the Galaxy? I've done Galaxy before because I did quite a bit of airdrop farming in different ecosystems. So I'm, pretty familiar, comfortable over there at Galaxy. But have you guys done it? Have you guys been over there doing that, hanging out over there? Because I've just been mint and redeeming from, the app, from the demo app on web, and that's it. I've been seeing some people saying they've been having some challenges with the Galaxy. Do you have to do? So what's my question is, what's the point of Galaxy? If we already got the app and people who mint and redeem and provide liquidity, are going to be eligible for potential retro airdrops for participation. Why do you need the Galaxy thing as well? That's what I've been thinking. Now, I shouted the player networks out because they responded to the challenges and stuff that people were having with the Bifrost wallet and Galaxy. So I gave them their flowers for, the quick response and all that stuff. But I'm still, why have the Galaxy if you can just do the app, the demo app? Is that additional rewards? Is that a separate, thing? It feels like the Galaxy thing is like a separate thing. What do you guys think? Like, why the need for the Galaxy? Galaxy says, will they be bought out? What are you talking about? Flare? Probably the BlackRock's alerting. Yeah, BlackRock's do a lot of interesting stuff, man. A lot of interesting stuff. So what do you think, Pookie? Pookie, is the Galaxy probably is just a separate reward incentive thing? Probably. That's what I'm thinking. Pookie says, I'm guessing, yeah. So although I am, really comfortable with Galaxy, I'm not going to be hanging out over there trying to get the points and all that stuff. I'll just, do my stuff. Just do my, just do my little testing, and kind of go from there. You know what I mean? Like, what the world? I minted some. Oh, it's got Quest here. I didn't see that, Pookie. On the FSAT's website, they got Quest on here. I didn't see that. That's interesting. So they got Home, Mint, Pools, and Quest. But I have a feeling, man, you hit this Quest thing, you're going to be off to another site. Let's see. Let's hit it and see. Let's see it. Let's see it together. Yep. All right. Start your quest. FS says Beacon Quest. $75 participants. The world. Connect, support, practice. FSA Beacon Quest is a unique campaign designed for the player community to explore FSS and earn rewards. To enhance engagement and inclusivity, we have designed a weekly leaderboard system that allows participants to join at any time and still have a chance for success. Total budget is $40,000 worth of FLR. You hit log in. What we got going on right now? You can use Bifrost with Wallet Connect. You can use MetaMask. You can use Phantom. It's interesting that you can use your Phantom. That's interesting to me. Anyway, that's Solana right there, right? That's really interesting to me. Hold on one second. Let me try the Wallet Connect. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try this wallet connect and just see Pookie. I said I wasn't gonna do it. Here I am doing it for you guys. All right, I'm using wallet connect. Let's see what happens. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I hit login and it gave me those different options. Signature request. Signatures can be used to approve wallet. Okay. App Galaxy wants you to sign in with Ethereum account. Da 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 da. URL, chain ID, etc. Okay, nice. Bifrost doing their thing. Am I creating a username? Sign up, set up. Yeah, it says set up. Okay. Now I have an account, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this works. Yeah, it's already taken. I knew that was gonna happen. Username's already taken. So if you already have a Galaxy account, log in to mine. But let me that's the challenge. Let me try something. I could just pick a different username, but let me see something, David. Okay. Hmm. All right. I'm going to try and log in. We'll see if that works. Well, what do you want? I already tried to log in. Try this again. Okay, what does that say? The account is okay. All right, so let me take a different username. All right, so let me check this network up here because this says base up here on the network. Okay, there is the network. Okay. It defaulted to base. XRP ledgers on there. That's nice. So there's no flare on here. So I wonder if this is going to be just Ethereum. Why is this saying to switch? I don't understand. Let me just not do that. Let me just do this again. Let's see what's going on. All right, let me do this. This is saying sign up. All right. All right, so I signed up, task incomplete, week 1 connect. I did that. Now it's saying it's Arbitrum. Hmm. Hmm. Pookie Pookie says he hasn't seen that yet. It's just a lot to do there with a new account. I may have to do it with my old account. Yeah, so in any case, that's interesting that they do have that there. Yeah, home, mint, pools, and quests, but because my old account is on my MetaMask wallet. So that's the thing that, you know, it's not on my Bifrost wallet. But I'm guessing since these are just, no, I don't want to do that. Anyway, let me go on to this other thing that I wanted to do, which is cover SUI. It says breaking news: deposits and withdrawals of USDC on SUI is live on Coinbase. Coinbase Assets put this out. Coinbase has enabled send and receive support for USDC on its SUI network. We are excited to keep expanding multi-network USDC availability. So little insight, a little alpha that I use Coinbase. How I use Coinbase is I deposit my dirty nasty PI either, the 5-7 day crapola, or just a bank card. But I do not purchase assets on Coinbase, right? So I want to get out of the ridiculousness of Coinbase and their spreads and their fees. So what you can do is you can just deposit that dirty nasty fee out of yours, either by the bank card, 4, 5, 6, 7 days before you can move that dirty nasty fiat, or use the bank card option. Yep, you got to pay for the bank card option. You do pay that for the immediate availability, right? So it's either kind of how you're planning it. It's really like how you're planning it. 9 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 times, I'm on Coinbase because I want to do something right then and there. I'm usually not on Coinbase where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good, 5-7 days. That rarely happens for me. That's 1 out of 10 times where I'm good 5-7 days. I just wanted to dirty nasty fiat on there. And then I'll, move it in 5 to 7 days to buy something. That's 1 out of 10 times, maybe 1 out of 100. So bank card, pay the fee, but then don't pay additional spread plus fees on Coinbase. What you can do is you turn the dirty nasty fiat on Coinbase after making your bank card purchase, and you convert it to USDC. That cost you zero, nada. By the grace of God, Coinbase is not charging for that. Okay. You convert that into USDC, and then you can withdraw the USDC on 5 or 6 different chains, and it costs you nothing to move it. It's free. And then you could, go to your favorite exchange and purchase, whether that's Kraken, which is less expensive than Coinbase. As far as the spreads, it depends a lot on the asset, but most of the times it's a little less expensive. They're not great with their spreads either, but Coinbase is just the absolute worst of them all. So you can find your favorite exchange to deposit USDC. You can use Solana, you can use Arbitrum, you can use whatever. It's significantly cheap. Ethereum is even cheap. It's in the cents, but it ain't free. So you can use Arbitrum 1, you can use Solana, right? And to withdraw it, and then you just go to your exchange and you can purchase it on your favorite exchange, whatever that might be. I don't know. It might be Bybit for some, KuCoin for some. It might be MEXC for some, but their spreads are not as brutal as Coinbase's. Then you just check to see if you want to, make the purchase and put it back into some cold storage. I would check on the asset beforehand on the exchange and see how much the withdrawal fee is. I'm told Bybit might be better than KuCoin for certain assets. I'm told that KuCoin might be better than Bybit for certain assets, right? In terms of the withdrawal fee that they charge. They're not all the same. You could compare 2 or 3 different exchanges, and the withdrawal fee for the same asset will be different. Bybit withdrawal fee for the same asset may be different than KuCoin's or Mexi or Kraken. Yeah, takes a little, takes a little homework, takes a little, checking into it, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. I moved made a super purchase somewhere and checked the withdrawal fee for one and the other, and it was, one super less on one exchange than it was for the other. So let's say it was 5 super for one exchange. On another exchange, it was only 3.5 super, right? In terms of withdrawal fee, right? So all that stuff kind of adds up. So that's kind of how I do it. So you don't have to get gouged. You don't have to get the double gouged from freaking Coinbase. Because it's brutal in them streets over there on Coinbase. It's brutal, David Stanley. All right, so this is great news, I think. Gotta be careful. This might be a thing there. So this is great news. You can withdraw that USDC to SUI wallet. Is it free, however? Is SUI offering this free? Let's see. Do you guys want to see? I don't think I have anything on Coinbase right now. So let's see. Yep. I don't have that on there. That's not accurate. Yeah. All right, let's see. Send. It might not let me do this. Oh, see, that's not going to show me because I don't have any USDC. I'll be able to show you guys, but you know what I'm saying. I just don't have. I don't keep anything on here, so I can't. It won't let you test it out and see. It's talking about you got to buy something. I just want to see if we got something for free up in this joint with SUI. I don't want to buy anything, man. Try buying something to start it. Yeah. Can I buy 65 cents worth? I got 65 cents worth of Bitcoin here. So I can't see it to see if it's free, but I'm sure it is. My guess is that it is free. Can't see it though. I don't keep this stuff on Coinbase. So, but anyway, that's good news, right? That's really, really good news. It's going to do what it does. SUI network is going up and to the right of the network adoption curve. Pookie. We talk about that. Hugo over here again, waxing poetically. Look at this long freaking thing from him. All right. Is that all the SUI news I had? No, it's not. Okay, an incredible way to end the week. What do you think the total number of transactions on SUI will be by the end of the year? SUI network reached 6 billion transactions. Whoa, that's a crazy number. 6 billion. That is crazy. Hmm, hmm, hmm. I just shared with you guys, I exited my Ethereum about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It's a SUI. Just in, 47% of Ethereum's outflows directed to SUI. Which chain is better? Share your thoughts. Interesting. Interesting. So anybody got this USDY from Ondo? It's interesting. USDY, Ondo finances US Treasury secured yield coin. Yield coin. Is now on Navi. Tokenized RWAs are powering up SUI DeFi. So this is on Navi protocol. Navi is pretty cool. I allocate a little something there, not much. Just to participate in the ecosystem there. Don't have the Navi token or the Cetus token or the Turbos token. Just SUI right now. But it's interesting. USDY is live. With over 1 billion in TVL, SUI is quickly becoming a major hub for DeFi, and it starts with Navi. Yeah. Ondo Finance put this out. Interesting. That was October the 16th, though. So interesting that Ondo put that out. Oh, we got the whole US person. So they make this statement about it being on Navi, but the USDY is not and may not be offered so otherwise made available in the US or to US persons. USDY has not been registered under Securities Act of 33, amended or pursuant, blah, 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 blah. Otherwise transferred to the US. They don't want US people to kind of get this. It's interesting to me. This is a scam. This is a scam post. I tell you, these people are just something. Just scam. You gotta be careful out there in the streets. It says Navi Protocol. Protocol. Navi.sui. You gotta be careful in the streets. That's not accurate stuff. So, though US investors, they don't want the US people to get these yield on this stuff. Only accredited investors, only the accredited investors, which is unbelievable to me that they do that. Very interesting. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button if you didn't do so on the way in. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. That would be super, super cool. If you did that, appreciate you guys checking in on a Thursday afternoon. I know you guys could be doing a lot of other things. So appreciate you guys hanging out with the Crypto Season fam. And by the way, if you happen to be in that 45 to 50% or so of people that are hanging out, listen to and watch the Crypto Siege and have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to that channel if you've been enjoying the Hangouts. We're trying to get that number down from 50% down to about, 25% or so. And you can do your part right now by just hitting that like button. Just hit that like button. Looking good and doing it. What's going on, friend? Donald Trump was saying any and everything right now, isn't he? That's my guy, but boy, looking good doing it. Says just in, Donald Trump is considering the elimination of federal income tax for all Americans. New York Times reports, yeah. He'll say anything right now. For sure. He's still my guy, though. Still my guy. Can you imagine the other person being in? I just can't. No way in heck. What's going on? Looking good and doing it. I'm reading 2 books right now, guys. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm reading 1 book, but I got 2 in. I'm reading Luca Delana's book, Luca Delana, Ergodicity. And I got Guy Spears' book, The Education of a Value Investor Industry. That one. I started that because I got it first, but then the other one came in, so I changed back. But I'm telling you, Davis Stanley says, thank you for all you do. It is like college compared to most people grade school YouTube channel. Oh, bro, thank you so much, David. I appreciate that. And you are welcome, man. It is my pleasure. I appreciate those kind words, David. So yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. Ergodicity by Luca Delana. Or Delana, how irreversible, that's hard to say, outcomes affect long-term performance in work, investing, relationships, sports, and beyond. Interestingly enough, he kind of likes my 90-10 thesis. Let me share something. He kind of gave a check mark to my 90-10 thesis. Here it is right here. We know we talk about the 90-10 on his channel all the time, David. Let's see if I can share it. It says, in investing, the barbell strategy consists of allocating parts of one's wealth to non-risky assets, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. That's my part. And part to risky ones with high upside, altcoins, meme coins, alt with winning narratives. That's one. I meant to tag someone else in this. Can I do that? Or is it too late? I'll do this instead. I can do this. All right. In investing, the barbell strategy consists of allocating part of one's wealth to non-risky assets, parentheses, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. I added that. And part to risky ones with high upside. I added alts, memes, alts with winning alternatives. Winning narratives. Investors who do so find themselves wealthier than those investing all their wealth in medium risk assets. Key words there, all and medium risk assets. I put XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash. And I pointed below to say this, which is Luca's words, not mine. One reason is that a medium risk investment is less likely to suffer large losses. Again, what he's saying is that the people who do the barbell strategy end up more wealthier than people who do the medium risk strategy. They end up more wealthier than people who do the medium risk. And this is why. Because the medium risk is all of your stuff. And all of the wealth in. He says one reason is that a medium risk investment is less likely to suffer large losses, but is not immune to them. Here's the key phrase. And over long enough time frames, less likely means eventually. Over long enough time frames, less likely means eventually. It's good stuff, good book. But it seems like he's kind of saying what I've been saying. Pookie Pookie says, I can't imagine. Yeah, Pookie Pookie's like, I can't imagine the other option for president. Like, I mean, that person over there is, I don't even know this, I'm just confused how people are confused right now. I don't know. Are we not just paying attention to, are we not just listening to what this person is just saying? Like, just listen, what, Oh my God. Anyway, let's see what else. This is a very interesting thing from RFK Jr. Like, are people paying attention to this? Take a listen to RFK right here.
President Harris said today in her post, in her speech, he said that President Trump was going to turn the US military against the American public and use the public to promote his agenda. How many of you think that is true? Well, what's interesting to me is that the Biden-Harris administration has done something 2 weeks ago that has never been done in American history, which is to send exactly legal force, to send a directive to the Pentagon, changing the law to make it legal for the US military to use lethal force against American citizens on American soil.
The US military.
Technically, now it's legal for the US military under this directive. It will become legal for the US military to shoot and kill Americans who engage in political protest because they disagree with policies in the White House. I'm not making this up. Any of you can look it up.
The dude just said he is potentially about to become part of the White House staff, or, whatever they call that, potentially, if Mr. Trump wins. He just said this publicly. That this is happening. So it can be fact checked. He encouraged you to go look it up and fact check if this is true. What's interesting to me is that the Biden-Harris administration did something 2 weeks ago that has never been done in American history, which is to send a directive to the Pentagon, changing a law to make it legal for the US military to use lethal force against American citizens on American soil. And there's confusion in this country about who should be the next president. I am just baffled by that. Like, I'm baffled by it. I mean, I get the one issue thing, right? I get we want someone in there who's going to be pro crypto. First of all, that crypto thing for black men, like I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the F in the world was that about? Like, what is that about? Like, it's insulting to me. Insulting to me that she came up with that and then literally publicly said it. Like, I don't understand, fam. But I don't understand how this is not dangerous. How people don't understand how dangerous, how close we are to this type of thing. Says Mr. RFK Jr., now it's legal. It is now legal for the United States military under this directive to shoot and blank with the K word Americans who engage in political protests because they disagree with policies in the White House. Like, my boy, like Chloe responded, like, what the, I don't know, man. I don't know. I get, I get the single policy thing. I do, but my land, what good does it do the wealth if you can't enjoy it in the country? What good does it do to obtain this wealth if there's 500,000 criminals? I mean, flat out criminals coming here illegally. Criminals, not someone trying to work around something because they want a better life here in this country. No, criminals. I'm just, oh man. I want this thing to be over with, man, and get this, get the better choice in office for crying out loud. Because so they can change that, first of all. You got to get that madness changed. Yeah, that's a great question, David. And I will say this, it seems so. I mean, I don't know if you watched it, but he's done a couple of interviews where he openly admits that he had the wrong people around him. He openly admits that this was bigger than what he thought it was. And so he deferred to people around him who were supposedly, quote unquote, the experts in a thing. I said this to some friends before, I think he's learned significantly, tremendously, in my opinion. He's learned a lot. And when I think about the people he surrounded himself with, the Tulsi Gabbards, the Elon Musk, the Vivek Ramaswamis, the RFK Juniors, I got to be honest with you, Pam. I get excited about it. I get excited about it. I don't know if Vivek is going to take a spot, though. Vivek's, he's an alpha, right? He's an alpha dude. He's a CEO. I don't know if he's going to take a spot, but I know Elon has said that he will. I'm certain that Tulsi Gabbard will take one as well, and RFK will take one. So I'm excited about that because what I don't question from those people is the love for the country, the love for the country, the love for the country. I don't question that at all from Elon, from Tulsi, from Vivek, right? From certainly not from RFK Jr. And this is what we need because that other side there is just, man, they have just freaking lost their way. Like, what the freak? So that's kind of where I am on that. I mean, I get we want pro crypto people, but my God, we got to have some pro country people on there. And we just can't automatically assume just because they're running for a United States position that they're pro this country. Like, we just can't assume that. We can't assume that. Because I don't know, man. It's crazy up in these streets right now. Zober said, would Ripple sell? Would they sell what? Would they sell what? Zober, how are you? But Brad Garlinghouse, he kind of he ducked around that corner on that one. He didn't really answer that. He dodged that question. When she asked him about, because she mentioned the Stripe acquisition of stablecoin platform, she asked if Ripple would be, willing to whatever. He didn't answer the question. He just talked about how excited he was about stablecoins. But my answer to that, of course, they would sell. Of course, they would allow themselves to be acquisitioned, but it would have to be a ton of money. It ain't going to be $1 billion. That I can tell you. It ain't going to be $1 billion. It's going to be a hefty price to do that, I think. I'm thinking 25 billion. Who's got that kind of, maybe like David was saying, BlackRock maybe. But I think it would be tens of billions of dollars before. I really do. I think it would be at least 20 billion, if not more. If not more, let me see here. Let me get rid of some of these tabs. So, what happened? David, no question. Trump's love of the country is undeniable. I would have dropped out years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That'd be super cool if you guys could do that. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. It really helps to get the channel out to more people that are hanging out, wondering what is going on right now. Why they don't understand the debasement of the currency. They don't understand inflation. They don't know anything about the business cycle. They have zero clue what's going on with the central banking system, how it's stealing their money. They don't know what the risk-free rate is. What is the risk-free rate? They have no idea. They don't know that when they deposit their money into accounts, it's no longer their money into these bank accounts. They don't know. And the way we can help them to begin to learn is to hit that like button, because that gets the channel out to more people. Because we need a new 1%, David Stanley. We need a new 1%. We need people in the know. We need people more financially educated, hip to the game, realize that the system is rigged against them and how they can fight back against that said system. That's what we need, right? So answer to your questions over is, yeah, Ripple would, do their thing for the right price. It would have to be the right price, though. That is for sure. It'd have to be the right price. How is Super doing? You guys get some of that Superverse? Up 5% in the last 24 hours. Interesting. No big deal. 630 mil. That's an interesting looking chart right there. That's that's a nice chart. You know what I'm saying, David? This is what we got to do. Hit that like button, get that challenge while people can find out what's good. Rick says, Siege, I'm always late. I never get messages when you're on the live. I do not trust Google. I think they don't want you to be heard. Yeah. I've heard that from several other people. And it started kind of back in the day when I was kind of calling out the beer cold, they call it the C19 thing now, but I was calling that thing out, and the channel went on a major shadow ban. But we'll fix it. We'll get it corrected. We're going to keep coming with the live streams. As long as you guys can hear me pretty cool, I'll mumble through and keep going on these live streams. We'll get it righted. Ultimately, we'll get it right. It's about the work that you put in, not necessarily about some particular count or sub count. It's about the work. You keep adding value, you keep adding value to the community. It always works out that way. Always works out for the good if you add value. So I'm just keep pushing, because I've been hearing a lot about notifications and this and that. And so guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, please. That gets the channel out to more people. Share the stream if you want on Twitter. You can do that as well. That'd be super, super cool. But this is about understanding that we need a new 1%, right? We need a new 1%. We need more people who understand what's going on with the central banks. Like I said, with the debasement of the currency, like I said, those things are massive. People don't know. People don't know. And then you got to know about the ergodicity. What if you don't know about that? What is a value investor? What does ergodicity mean, right? These things are important. The 90-10 thing is making more and more sense, is it not, Rick? Devon, Steve, what's going on, bro? Evening all tight late. It's all good, Devon. It's all good. Appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you checking in, my friend. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. Hit that like button, guys. That'd be super, super cool. So again, this is hugely important. The new 1%, I know I talk about it all the time, all the time. The mantra of the channel is old money doesn't want you to win. We talk about that for a reason. We got to understand the game and how it's being played. We got to know the history of the central banking system. It's important. People don't know. Like, people really don't understand what happened with the central bank, the Federal Reserve Act, that what people don't know. They don't know the real truth. There's a lot of truths in our history books that have been left out. But you know what they say, David? If the money ain't right, it ain't right. Right? It ain't right until the money is right. You know? Rick says, you're right, but the people who control the 1% do not want us to have it. They will go to war before they give it up. Yeah, we have to take it. Right? You have to take it. How do you do that? How do you take that? You got to get more people financially educated, right? More people who understand how to create wealth, more people who are willing to teach others how to create wealth, because in the end, that's going to talk. In the end, that's going to talk. What if we get to someone in position who is going to do away with accredited investors? Imagine that. Imagine getting someone in office who we have the air. You notice how the digital asset space right now has the air of Congress. Notice that? We got the air right now. We didn't have the air before. We got the ears now. You know, I'd like to do more stuff like Gary Cardone is doing. You know, a few million just to get the ear of someone who can make a big positive change for the good of the country, for the good of the country. I mean, he didn't have to do that, but he did for the good of the country. Right? We need more of us in that type of position who give a crap, who recognize that the playing field is not level, and who's willing to do something about it. Who's willing to do something about it. You know? David Stanley says, I need people like you in my life, so do others. We do need notification and Patreon group income. Yeah, so I have a Patreon group. Is that what you're saying? Patreon group incoming? Rick says, part of the people, indeed. That's exactly right. Right? So, and part of that formula is we got to go out there and create wealth and be able to keep the wealth. We got to learn the difference between non-ergodic and ergodic. We got to learn that in investing. We got to know they're not teaching that stuff in school, so we got to learn that. Right? It's important. You know, absolutely important. Brian Herney says, is that Herney? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You are important to this community. Thank you, my friend. We all appreciate and thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. Devon Steve says, I'm off to a reform meetup in a fortnight. You might have heard of Nigel Farage. I have not, bro. He is mates with Trump, really? Nigel Farage. I don't think I've heard of him. What you guys talking about over there in that meetup? Right. And so these are things that are important because it's obvious that we need a new 1%. Look, we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, but we know it now. We know it. We know what they did back with the central bank thing. We know it's been exposed. We know it. Now we got to change it. We got to change it. We got to get people in positions that can, you don't have to necessarily get rid of the central banking system. You could reform would work. Reform would work. Why aren't we getting that 5%, roughly 5% risk-free rate? Why are we not getting it? Why are they, the banking cartel, getting it? Right? We could change that around. That's why DeFi is massively important. Right? We could change that. And this, for me, I really do believe this is our time to make that change. Right? It's our time, right? That's why we say in the outro all the time. Right? The digital asset space is our chance to win, right? It's important. We can do it, right? For sure. We can do little things like getting our, children, teenagers, young adults, probably a good idea if you, just to invest a little bit of dollars in that BTC every paycheck. It's a really good form of savings. Show them how. Explain to them a little bit about if you got $100 today, you could have 140 12 months from now. Educate them a little bit on something like that. Maybe it's $50 a paycheck. Maybe it's 25. Start them on that savings. They don't need to know about all cryptos yet, I don't think. But if BlackRock says this is sound money, it's sound money. Because BlackRock, in case you didn't know, like that's the fourth branch of the U.S. government. And I'm not saying it's all good over there. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, when they talk, administration is listening. So we might as well take advantage of that. Might as well take advantage of that. Hydros, what's going on, Hydro? How are you, my friend? See your video shorts, liked and shared. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. What? CJ, I'm going to the primer of XRP Unleashed. Downtown Los Angeles. It's sold out. Nice. Yeah. Jamie Stanley said, this is about JP Morgan holding your digital assets. Watch the, yeah. Be careful. I'm just not a fan of that dude over there. Nope. That's the old part. You understand that's part of old money. You just you got to understand it. You got to know. You got to know that's part of old money. It ain't just some dude that they're shopping around. What is his name? I don't even know his name anymore. The person over at JP Morgan, right? Don't pay attention to her face. Pay attention to, you got to check the history over there. It's important. Yeah, that's right. It's important, right? And so now that we're in the know and we're early to this new financial system, David, that to me, that's our shot. That's our chance. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button. That'd be super, super cool. If you didn't do so on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick and then go smash that like, come back and hang out with Crypto Season fam. Since we are on the dawn of this new financial system, right, it's important for us, the average Joe and Jane, to be part of it, educated about it and how it all works, so we can usher it in and have it be fair, have it be a level playing field, right? DeFi is massively important in my view. We got to get DeFi right, but we got to protect DeFi. They're trying to go after DeFi, right? Right? They're trying to go after DeFi. They got the guy from Tornado Cash, right? They're trying to go after it. But don't, trust me, they are fully aware of the threat that the digital asset space poses to them, and that them is old money. You got to get the old 5 to 7 to 8 families who came together, this idea of the central banking. You got to get that, how it worked, and the deal they made with the government for war. Once you understand that, you understand, right? Oh, nice, Hydro. Nice. Hydro says, Siege, I've been telling my brother for the last 2 years about crypto. He finally gets it. He is putting in 100K on BTC. Nice. Nice. Nice work, Hydro. Yeah, I still think in the 60s, 68, what's 75% of BTC from BTC's all-time high going to be? If it's 200,000, I'm not sure if it gets there, but let's say BTC this cycle's high is 200K. What's 75% of that? What is that? One 150. So it would be 50% is 100. Yeah, so wait a minute. So BTC is going to go anywhere between 55% from this all-time high. Is it 65 or 75%? Historically. Let's do 60%. $120. So my thing is, if BTC hits 200,000, it's going to go down 60,000 from 200. So that makes it 80K. Right, 80K, somewhere around there. So a 68K BTC is okay at 100K of one's dollars, right? So, right, good strategy, not financial advice, but what I'm thinking is, dollar cost average strategy is a great strategy. Love it. Love it. But when moon happens, right? We're looking at our portfolio when moon is over sometime in 2025. We're looking at our portfolio. It's 75 to 95% exited into stables, somewhere like that. 75, 95%. Depends on what it is. Maybe it's only 75% of Solana. Maybe it's only 50%, but somewhere around there. So any other portfolio stuff, got to get out of that stuff, as I'm saying to myself. I'm saying this to myself. Got to exit exit my superverse position. 95% of that probably, if not all of it, in preparation for the 60% pullback in Bitcoin. Because what we say on this channel is we're getting back to the old mantra of the digital asset space, which was the reason why you have all these altcoins is to get more BTC. Working on the Mag 7, right now it's Bitcoin, maybe it's Ethereum, and maybe it's Solana. But right now we just got one and kind of like a half Mag 7. Bye, baby. Right? So if it gets back to 80 after it gets to 200, but you've multiplied your portfolio of alts to a 20x or a 30x or 40x, I don't know. It's greater than the dollar cost average of the BTCX, right? Because the BTC is going to 2.5, 3x, right? It's going to 2.5, 3.5x. But if you got a smart altcoin portfolio and the right narratives, you take the 20x, this is what I'm doing, thinking out loud, not telling anyone to do anything financially. You take that little thing and take that 20, I don't know, 10, 20, 30x portfolio, whatever it's going to be, I don't know, but it's greater than 2.5x. Take that, and what I'm going to do is, dollar cost average down to 80K. So start at 85, start at 90. No, maybe a third at 90. This is when it's established the downtrend, when it's in an established downtrend, slant bear market. Down from 200, down to 170, down to 170, down to 150. It's probably going to go up a little bit just to trick everyone to the trend is not established. Go back up to 170. Then it's going to go down to 140, then down 120. It's going to start that trend. Bye, baby. Start that trend. When we get that established trend, then we can begin to look. When the trend is established in the bear, we'll begin to look. Okay, looks like this trend daily, weekly is trending down. We can start putting some alerts in at 90, maybe 85. So the strategy is out there. It's established because Bitcoin has established its 4-year cycle, how it works. It might take years after the bull run for BTC to get to where we want to take. In fact, it most likely will be a year and a half, maybe 2. But I'm planning on about a 60% retrace. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm planning about 60%. It might be 65, but I think historically is it 55 to 75? And so I put 60 in kind of like the good in the middle. Hydro says huge retrace to buy more. Yeah. So so that's kind of where we are, kind of how I see what happened to the other live stream. Let me get the other live stream. There's my guy Spear. Just a suggestion. Nice suggestion to listen to. You know how we say on this channel, find the voice of value. Tune in and stay for a while. It's a good one right there, Guy Spear, S-P-I-E-R. But why didn't my thing show up? Let me do this.
well, so that they can.
To me, Raoul Paul is another good one, a good voice of buyer to tune into and stay for a while. Tune in and stay for a while. It's Raoul Paul, the journeyman, P-A-L, Paul. Like, why didn't I not show up? Let me see, where do I need to go? Let's go here. Let me pull up the other live stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out. So that's kind of my plan. Again, thinking out loud, not telling anyone to do what I'm doing. Sure, it's not financial advice, just, is that it? Will that be the same one or no? Let's do that. That should be a different one. Yeah, that's the one we want. Let's get this live chat going. That should pull up. But that's kind of my strategy, how I see and stuff, you know. Is this chat going to come up here with this or no? Still spinning. Come on, see if this chat going to come up. There it is. Yeah, it is. D. Dre's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How are you, brother? Appreciate you checking in. So that's kind of how I'm thinking things. Like, obviously, I'm thinking them out loud, you know. But what about the altcoins? You know, it's all about the Max 7. Who's it going to be? It's not on you and I. We got to know the narratives of the market. What's the narratives right now that are winning? The winning narrative, right? That's why we shared this post, right? Let's see if I can't find that post we share from our guy, Luca Delana. In investing, the barbell strategy consists of allocating part of one's wealth to non-risky assets, part of one's wealth to non-risky assets, and part to risky ones with high upside. Now, we took that part and we did 90-10. Some may feel better with an 80-20. Some may feel more compelled 70-30. We did 90-10. Right? And part to risky ones with high upside. That's the 10% for us in the crypto season zone. So that would be altcoins, meme coins, altcoins with winning narrative. That's for us. We're in the alts with the winning narratives. What's the winning narratives right now? RWAs, AI, meme coins, gaming, and layer ones. Right? Everyone's on the layer one with the newer, better technology that's going up and to the right of the network adoption curve, like Caspa or SUI or Aptos or even Mantra, which Mantra kind of ticks two boxes, right? Isn't Mantra a layer one and RWA? Are they? Is Mantra a layer one or are they on some other thing? Let me see. Now it got me thinking. I don't even know. Is Mantra? Let's see what's going on here. No, it's not. It's an RWA play. Okay. I thought perhaps they were their own chain, but that's an RWA play, right? It's an altcoin and kind of winning the game in the RWA narrative. So investors who do so find themselves wealthier than those investing all their dirty, nasty fiat and medium risk assets. One reason is that a medium risk investment is less likely to suffer large losses, but is not immune to them. And over long enough time frames, less likely means eventually. That's why I tell people to check the portfolio. How has it been faring? I know we can come up with reasons why it might not be faring well, but are you asking yourself, is it faring well or no? Just a question. And it doesn't necessarily mean to exit. Maybe you're taking the crypto Caesars approach and saying, yeah, you know what? I'm not selling my XRP. But if they don't win the game in their incentive event that David Schwartz has been promising, if they don't win the game in their stablecoin push, been a holder since 2017. If they don't win no game, what is that saying in reality? What if they come up with a lackluster liquidity incentive event? Isn't that something to question and ponder, to consider? What if their new daily active users is not going up and to the right? The new builders is not going up and to the right. Doesn't that say something, mean something? Isn't that something to consider and ponder? We know the formula. Going up and to the right of the network adoption curve creates native demand for the asset, creates demand, for the native asset of the blockchain. What is going up and to the right on the network adoption curve look like? New developers, a growing developer ecosystem, new daily active users, new active wallets, active. These are some of the things that make going up and to the right happen on the adoption curve. Remember, creating that adoption, garnering attention, these things create demand for the asset. So tell me about your liquidity incentive event, RippleX. Tell me about how you're educating new builders, because David Schwartz said, building on the XRPL, yeah, that ain't easy. Okay, you identified the problem. Now tell me what you're doing about it. And here comes EZA. Here, the EZA app. Here comes XRPL Commons. Cool. You check that box. You got a plan. You got some things going on. Now, when liquidity incentive event, show me what you're talking institutional DeFi. Show me what you got. How are you going to be encouraging people to participate and leverage the lending protocol that you got in the works? How soon before the lending protocol comes out? These are questions we got to ask as investors, right? Ultimately, we're on that journey of becoming, right, a sophisticated investor. That's the journey we're on, right? We can't be hanging around being novices. It's a great book, highly recommend it. It's called Ergodicity by Luca Delano. Right here. Highly recommend it. I tagged my guy Jungle. Jungle's a smart dude, man. Jungle is a really smart dude. He doesn't always get things right. Neither do I. He's a smart dude, and he's willing to put himself out there and admit when he's wrong. There's very few of us who would do that, put themselves out there, and then admit when you're wrong. A lot of the entertaining content creators out there aren't willing to do that, to keep fighting, because they think it's important to look good. Missing the big picture. All right, so Hydro, there you go. Look at Hydro. Hydro says First Ledger is helping with active wallets. You got to create that. Look, we understand, but you got to create momentum. You got to create things like active wallets. We understand the mean thing. We understand, don't you? Some are going to come into this ecosystem and stay. I tell people that all the time. You got to garner attention. You got to attract people to the network. Some are going to stay, just like I ended up staying in the Solana ecosystem. But they attracted me over there. How? Airdrop farming, Galaxy Quest. Next thing you know, and that was at $40 or $70. I forget which one. I'm just hanging out there, airdrop farming, you know, all that stuff. Now I stayed. I stayed. Big Jupiter Exchange guy, Camino Finance, Margin Fi, I stayed. Marinade, I stayed. I do some swapping every now and then on Radium, but I mainly hang out Phantom, you know, and hang out in Jupiter swapping, providing liquidity in Camino, borrowing and lending on Margin Fi. I stayed. Do you understand? That's how it works, man. Liquidity incentive event is huge. Why? Because it helps you go up and to the right of the network adoption curve. Assam, what's going on? Hello, see, it's been a while. I couldn't get your live notifications working. Oh, no. I keep hearing that, my friend. I appreciate you checking in, Assam. Who are we talking about there, David? David says, okay, let's talk about this. Why did they put USDC on the ledger and not create their own? What major companies are going to use? Do they know something we don't? USDC is king. Who did that? Who are we talking about, David? Pookie says, I've been accumulating XLR. I hear you, my friend. I did too, but it's in my 10% portfolio, right? It's not a max 7, right? It's in the 10% portfolio. Okay, so you're talking about Ripple and the XRPL. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe, I don't know. Let me know, who are you talking about when you say they? Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you didn't do it on the way in, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick and hit the like button. And then come hang out with the Crypto Seeds. What happened to, is it here? No, is it there? Yeah. Pookie says, not a mag 7. There you go, 10%. Dang. Pookie's on it. Pookie is on it. They were standing XRPL. XRPL will have a better retail use by another company than Ripple. That is what makes it XRPL so special. That's exactly right. Anyone can come on this ledger and be number one. Like, people keep not relying. People keep putting all this hope on one company. Nah, that's not it. Archax might bring someone on that XRPL as next level, doing all kind of other stuff other than bigger and better than what Ripple's doing. It's important to understand it. Oh, David says, why not adopt USDC? It's market share, bro. It's the stablecoin market share grab. That's all it is. Ripple said, I think we can participate in that. Now, Mr. Garlinghouse says it's because they saw the little DPEG going on. Circle had a little DPEG in the banking crisis with Silvergate and the other S company. I forget the other one. So Ripple's like, I'm sure it was Brad was like, we could tap into that stablecoin market. We got enough of this and enough of that and enough relationships. We won't be depegging, is what he says. We'll see. So that's just market shares the way I see that, David. Stablecoin market is going to be massive. They believe it's enough to go around, and they think they're a big enough player to participate. I believe so. We'll see, though. They're going to have to prove it, right? They're going to have to prove it. They're going to have to prove it, right? Don't chase the game. Let the game come to you. Ripple's got some proving to do. They got some proving to do. They're not winning the network adoption curve race right now. The XRPL is not winning. We got to put it in. We got to get on the winning path, right? We got to establish some winning ways. Liquidity incentive event, stablecoin. Tell me what you're going to do with that. It's going to be interesting again. What is Archax really going to bring to the XRPL? They keep talking about 100 million. They keep talking. Let's see what they really bring to the XRPL. That's going to be a good, interesting thing. And again, that lending protocol proposal, I think that can be massive for us as retail. If they get it established, I think it's going to be massively attractive to people like Chris Lawson's former company, right? Prosper. He started Prosper, right? It's kind of peer-to-peer thing. I think it could, for people like Prosper and Lending Point and Lending Tree and those kind of financial institutions, I think that can be massive for them. And here we are, we can operate like the 1% do, lend out their money. We can lend out our money. I think that's going to be massive. Another form of being a lender, right? I think it could be massive for us. Obviously got a little risk, right? You can't lend out all our money, but we can lend out, I don't know, start out small, 1%, 0.5%, I don't know. But it could be a cool deal. Sam says, have you covered the Galaxy at all? I did cover that in the beginning, my friend. Not in the beginning, but I did cover it. And what do you think about it? It appears to be a separate incentive at the 40,000 by way of Galaxy. It's 40,000 in FLR. I'm familiar. I have a couple of accounts with Galaxy because of airdrop farming. So it doesn't feel as uncomfortable as it does to a lot of people. This whole points and collecting points and, going down the points thing. I will say that I do think it's worth it, but I do understand the ills that people are having with going through that process because it's time consuming and it's tricky and it's not very. They could have a better UI UX experience over there at Galaxy. David says, what about PayPal? Well, PayPal's, listen, I don't know if PayPal hooked up with Solana or whatever, but that little liquidity incentive event they got going over there on Camino, it's 200 million over there. Like, they did a good job. I'm gonna share that. They did a good job over there. So PayPal ain't messing around, and they got a little bit more to their stable than other stables for retail, for people holding it. Okay, I don't need to know how it works. All right. K-Lend, they calling it Camino Lend. Interesting. All right, so let's take a look here at the PayPal USDC. GLP was a nice one for me, but that's just anyway, here's PayPal. I mean, look what's going on right now with the PayPal USD. 206 million. It's the greatest, it's the highest one here. 206 mil. Total bar is 100 mil. LTV is 90%. The supply was higher. I think it was 12%, but that number goes up and down depending upon what they got going on. You supply 7, you can borrow for 4. Right? You're up. Right? You're up. Now, I think I was wondering about this morning, but it feels like on Camino, I don't know if this is the same for Margin Fi, but it feels like, well, I know it's not the same for Margin Fi, but this feels like this is like borrow, supply and borrow, the same thing. But the guy I was listening to was singing the praises of PayPal USD because he used to work at PayPal. He helped create the stablecoin. That was the guy on Bankless. He was saying some good things about PayPal USD. But it feels like on Camino, you supply and you borrow the same thing. And which is why this is doing well, because I mean, you're up. They're paying you to borrow, right? If they're going to give you 7.61% to supply, and then the borrow is only 4.5%, right? You're up, right? They used to do that. They had like 2 or 3 different things you could supply and then borrow, and you were up, right? But this is part of the incentive event, right? That they got going on here. Let me see if I can. Boost is 3x. This position earns 3x in points. This position earns additional incentives. 5.85% for holding PYUSD. Lending APY is 1.76%. Total combined 7.61%. So, right, so you're up here, which is what I really like. That's how you get to the 7.61%. But let me see something here. I feel like let me find that Bankless channel. Let me do this. Oh no, right here. Assam says it is tricky. Galaxy is tricky. The interface is appalling, but appreciate the insight. You're welcome, sir. I don't know how is PayPal USD able to get retail the percentage for holding the stable coin, but I'm pretty sure he said that. Is it a security? Let me check something, David. Let me go here. There's my guy. There's my guy. Let me see if I can't find an interview. That I listened to. Bankless did an interview with the guy. I can't remember the dude's name right now. And he's starting another project himself too. This guy right here. This was a really good interview. Let me pull this up. Awesome.
So let's say that was no longer the case. A bill goes through, it's a stablecoin bill that allows issuers of the stablecoins to pass yield to their customers. Then it would create a competitive market, right? And so I'm not going to settle for 2%. If I'm going to go to some other system that gives me something closer to the 5%. Competitive market would take over, and so the issuer gets a cut, but it's a lot smaller than the cut that they're currently receiving, and the yield gets passed on to the end consumer. Am I right in thinking this is how it could work out?
You basically just described the business model of USDM or Agora. Yes. Right. And if you look at run rate fees and asset management for what I'm going to call like semi-vanilla alternative investments, because I would say the stablecoin part is definitely alternative. The money market fund is not. You're probably looking at prices around 50 basis points to run this thing, which is, way lower than all of the 5%, which is what both banks and, some of the current stablecoin issuers who deal with the US are taking. So Ryan, you're totally correct. You're going to get to a market equilibrium over time, and the holders will get most of that yield.
So better settlement assurances than like money in my checking.
Let me find the thing where he talks about PayPal. Oh, no, he was at was it Paxos? Yeah, he was at Paxos. But Paxos is the one who provides the stablecoin thing for PayPal. So I believe how this works. But let me find it. So today's guest, Austin, is a professor and former chief risk officer at Paxos. Explains how crypto works, especially stablecoins, and can protect everyday Americans from the risk of traditional banks. But let me find the thing here. Where am I at here? I'm an hour. Okay. Because he talks about PayPal stablecoin.
So my point is there are definitely better ways to do things, but yet what you find is the system still tries to force everybody into bank accounts. Like the IRS wants you to pay your taxes out of a bank account, right? They're going to get pissy if you try to pay it like stable coins or Bitcoin or something like that. And so, there are solutions that work better before we even get to crypto, because I said some important things that will lead to why I think crypto is.
It's funny, by the way, Austin, you can't pay your IRS tax bills in treasuries, can you? No.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. It got to be the dollar.
One would think they would want to retire their own debt in return for your tax obligations, but no. Some of this, by the way, is also just the technological incompetence of the U.S. government. One other thing I would tell non-Americans is understand that American bureaucrats are by and large old, not technologically savvy, and not particularly well paid, right? Like the mental model people have in their head is like these geniuses in an ivory tower. The mental model you should actually have is like Wendy's, right? For a lot of government bureaucrats. And that's not an insult. Wendy's is good food, but my point is they're not tech developers.
Yeah. And you don't think of them as evil either. Like Wendy's employee is not an evil person. They're just trying to get through their day.
And that is precisely why I picked that, right? Like all of these conspiracy theories. And look, I've personally met multiple Fed governors. I know senior people at banking regulators, securities regulators, the Commodities and Futures Commission. I have met probably on one hand the number I would think are evil in that sense. And given how many I know, no, that's a pretty good ratio. Because if you know thousands of people, the idea that all of them are good people is crazy. Right. But, I would say most of them, exactly as you said, are just trying to make things work and get through the day. And, I wrote a long time ago this piece titled Downside Only, trying to explain regulators to people. And you've got to understand, these are people who get zero credit if things go right and get screamed at constantly if things go wrong. So their entire incentive mechanism becomes avoiding downside. They just don't want mistakes. So change to them is often a bad thing because it upsets the apple cart. And they know if it goes wrong, they're going to get blamed. But if it goes right, people like Elon Musk are going to get all the credit. And nobody's going to talk about that.
Does that explain Gary Gensler, Austin? Or is he one of the...
No, I don't think that explains Gary.
There are outliers.
Yeah, Gary's an outlier. He's also a political appointee, which is an important distinction. But I do think that explains a lot of the line people at the SEC, the OCC, the FDIC, like the Federal Reserve, in terms of if you look at what they care about, they're like, could everybody just stop breaking shit, right? Like that's the vibe you get from these people.
I'm trying to find
Let's talk about just the going back to the banking structure that we talked about in the first bit of this podcast. What do regulators think about that structure? What do they say about it? What do they enjoy it? Do they want it to perpetuate? How does it relate to antitrust efforts? What's the regulatory conversation as it relates to this whole banking structure that's been established?
Of a nation state plus banker cabal, right? They've created this, he called it an unholy alliance. I feel like we know this by route of Nick Carter, but go ahead, David.
I think you just get dollars on a one-to-one basis later. You wait some time.
Yeah, you might not even have to wait that long given that Paxos is involved if they're not bankrupt. But the answer is PayPal's reserves for PYUSD are in a segregated trust account in New York State titled for the benefit of the stablecoin holders, meaning that, Ryan, if you own $100 of PYUSD, that is your property, not PayPal's.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Oh, cool.
That's way better.
Exactly.
So it's almost bearer asset-like.
It is bearer asset-like. It is the same thing as the cash asset in your Fidelity brokerage account that is titled in your name.
But that pay.
So anyway, so that was one of the things he noted about the PayPal USDC, which USD, which is created by Paxos is it's yours, right? Unlike some other stuff, which is cool. And I guess by way of DeFi, what PayPal is doing is they're turning over that yield that they're getting and they're giving it to people who hold it. I guess that's what he's saying there. What I'm getting to with Camino. All right. Right. And so I think that's what they're doing, David. It feels like what they're doing with the PYUSD on Camino, which is I think Ripple is going to try to do on the XRP out. PayPal is still getting the yield, right? But in the DeFi thing, it says here, right? 5.85%. So some way, just like he said, you're describing USDM by Agora. Somehow they're figuring out a way to give this to the people who participate in Camino here with their thing. Because it's 5.85%. So it says this is an incentive that they're doing, but they have to be doing something like USDM is doing on Agora. So what should I do? Agora USDM. Oh, it's the Aussie one. Okay, because it's an Aussie. So that's why. That's why he says it sounds like because they're doing it in Australia, whereas the US, it's the US that's fighting the whole idea or notion of giving, yield that the banks get. Remember, the risk-free rate is going back to the bank, right? It's going to the bank. You deposit money, right? And the Federal Reserve is giving that risk-free rate to the banks, to the top banks, right? Instead of giving it to the people. And what Sean Adams was saying there, dude on the left is saying, if we get stable coins changed, we get some things changed up, that risk-free rate should be going to the depositors as opposed to going to the banks. And I think that eventually we'll get to that. But right now, the SEC is wanting to say that this yield is a security, right? We want to keep this accredited investor. We want to change that, make it even more than what it is now, make it even harder than what it is now to get it, which is crazy. So. Right? So Rick Cisneros says that's why we need stablecoin legislation or regulation. That's exactly right. And what we got going on right now is a good first step. Hopefully it will get passed and enacted. And then we'll work to change that because again, the more educated we become, the more we can begin to ask and or demand for what's right. Right? What's right. Remember, they paying us 0.01, 0.02, and they're getting, God knows, the multiple for lending out your money, and it's no longer yours once you deposit it to the account. And then the Federal Reserve hooks up these banks with a 5% risk-free rate. The risk-free rate. But we know about it. Hopefully we'll get it. Hydra says, when is the RUSD released or RLUSD? I'm not sure when that's going to happen, Hydro. I mean, Garlinghouse is saying weeks, not months. So we'll see. All right, fam. Look, I'm going to hop off here. Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, guys, for sure. Keep that thing going. Make sure that's up. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. I appreciate all of you guys checking in. It's been a really cool hang. Again, I will get through these live streams for sure. Keep bringing them to you until we get the grill and everything worked out the way it should be working. But it was cool hang. This wasn't so bad. I hope you guys could hear most of what I was saying and understand most of what I'm saying. So I appreciate you guys for sure. Set up. Okay, we don't need that. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out. If you can do so on the way in, that'd be super, super cool. And again, if you happen to be in that 45 to 50% or so people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Seeds, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're trying to get that number down from 50% down to about 25%. And you can do your part right now by just hitting that, just hit that like button right there. And don't forget to ring that notification so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.